Also, the variety of organizations I've participated in, from Greek life to cultural to performance, really let me see a lot of different needs on campus, a lot of different services they provide, and how I can help them out.
All right. Well, as I mentioned, I've been on Senate since it was possible, since I joined CMU in freshman fall, and the first year that I was on Senate, I was in the Campus Life Committee under Jared Adams, and well, this really gave me a sort of overarching view of student life at CMU, as well as the happiness of students at CMU with relation to their participation in student organizations. The second year in sophomore fall, I was elected to be the chair of the Communications Committee on Student Senate, which, all due respect, had been a kind of flagging committee in previous years, and with the help of a new executive committee and with a lot of help from Jake and Will Weiner and a lot of people on the executive committee, I believe we turned around that committee and we really did a lot to increase the visibility of Student Senate on campus. As I said, I'm currently serving as the vice chair of that committee, and a lot of good things have been done this semester, as well as continuation of work that was started last semester. As far as my involvement in student organizations goes, I believe I've been involved in the whole gamut of student organizations, including, well, to be honest, I've been on the board of International Student Union and of the Iwane, and my involvement in sophomore year has been a little more withdrawn due to, well, let's just call it the sophomore slump. So it's been a little more withdrawn, but I do believe that my involvement in all kinds of organizations, including spiritual like OM, or social and cultural like Mayur, and performance like Diwane, has really given me an overarching view of the way organizations function and what they need on campus. In fact, I was greatly involved in Diwane since it's a small organization, a growing organization, a very rapidly growing organization actually. I was involved a lot in the JFC appeals process last year, which gave me a, well, with all due respect, it gave me a view of the frustrations faced by organizations, not with anything personal, but just in breakdowns in communication, etc., that took place. I really think that as far as experience goes, I have the requisite amount, and my mix of student government and student organization experience places me ideally to be the next student body vice president for organizations.
Thank you. Finance is a central concern for all student organizations. What do you believe is the most important idea that needs to be implemented regarding student finances? We'll start with you.
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. When you say
I can repeat it. What do you believe is the most important idea that needs to be implemented regarding student finances? This is specific to organizations.
Well, one of the most important parts of my platform is communication between COSO reps and organization leaders, as well as communication between COSO and JFC. I really think that when there's a breakdown in communications between organization leaders and JFC, or when there's a problem for organization leaders and they're not sure what they want to, what their options are really, they should look to COSO as being sort of an advocacy group for them, where COSO can kind of, and the student body vice president for organizations can appeal to JFC to sort of sort out any financial issues that a student organization can have.
Thank you.
Let's face it, everyone. Like, to be honest, student organizations never have enough money. This is the truth of the matter. With over 250 of them and a limited pool of about $1.2 million in student activities fee money, there will never be enough. But some of the things I've highlighted in my platform will help organizations get more money and be more knowledgeable about the process. Alumni are a great resource that usually student organizations do not tap, whether it's due to a lack of logistics, a lack of knowledge, or just people not wanting to do the work. So I plan on reaching out to all organizations and helping them communicate with their alumni and getting them in touch with the Alumni Association. For example, one problem right now is that some organizations maintain lists of their alumni that they ask for money from, but also the CMU Alumni Association, which is in charge of all alumni and kind of soliciting money from all of them, also does the same. So as you can see, there's a lot of overlap. And I would like for all alumni outreach and fundraising efforts to be consolidated by partnering student organizations with the Alumni Association, because the Alumni Association lacks this vital information on how to reach out to different bodies and groups of students. Of course, organizations always want to be able to contact as many alumni as possible. So one thing that surprised me was any gift to a student organization made by an alum counts towards CMU's alumni giving participation rate, which, as some of you may know, is one of the factors in the US News and World Reports. So this directly affects CMU's ranking in the entire world. So I feel that if more alumni knew that their gift would help promote CMU status by donating to their student organizations, they'd be more willing to do so. So that's one way that I think I can help organizations raise more money. And of course, working with JFC is definitely one of the strong points I want to touch on, because most organizations aren't that knowledgeable about the JFC process, even though they apply for it probably every year and they have to attend these mandatory information sessions. So by, sorry, that wasn't meant to, be a bullet at you, but anyways, I feel like I can definitely do a lot more in communicating with the VPF for next year by having joint meetings, by integrating a budget tracker and org tracker if that's possible, Seth, and by also, just having more availability and making everything more public.
Thank you. This is great. We're having audience participation here. You kind of stole my question, Will, so I'm going to give you a little bit more time to talk about it, but alumni are an excellent source of funding and support for student organizations. How do you plan to work with the Alumni Association to help student organizations develop alumni partnerships? So, Will, we're actually going to start with you so you can keep talking about it, and then we'll hear from Varun.
Well, I think I've mostly covered a lot of the things I wanted to talk about. Basically, you guys should all give more to, if not the school, then the student organizations that really make this place great. And CMU has done a lot over the past few decades to improve the quality of campus life. And student organizations have been such a vital part of this process. So, so we can continue funding these, making these events happen, these big events. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, I touched upon this earlier in my introduction. I've had a few conversations with members of student activities, and well, their idea is that student organization leaders often view alumni as only a source of funding, and I think this is a big folly on their part, because alumni have so much more to offer than just funding. I mean, that's a huge part of what they do offer, but that's, to me, the gist of alumni relations would be in fostering connections and maintaining relationships with people who have been in your organization and who really are engaged with your organization and who like your organization and would love your organization to flourish, and tapping them as resources of, well, things that have gone in the past, things that have worked, things that have not worked. So I'd really like to work with alumni relations to train student organization leaders to learn to maintain these relationships that would or could, of course, result in gifts coming in from alumni. So basically not to view alumni only as sources of funding and as gifts, which of course is a big part of what they do, but to view them as an overall relationship with someone who can help your organization in a holistic manner.
Thank you. I'm now going to move into candidate-specific questions. So this first one is for William. In your platform, you talk about student organization awards. What do you believe are the benefits of employing student organization award systems?
So I think that student leaders, people who participate in student organizations, really contribute so much to this campus. and I think that they should be noticed and respected. So these organizations who put on large events that engage the campus community, really improve the quality of life. To name a few, I mean, Bhangra and the Berg, Greek Sing, a lot of organizations do these events, and they really contribute a lot. And so my plan was to have some sort of gathering in the spring and have nominations and awards given out. So these awards would be decided upon by members of the administration as well as students themselves to provide a good mix of opinions. And along with the recognition, I've also been looking into possibly giving some sort of a JFC subsidy or some other sort of monetary subsidy to encourage these organizations to continue putting on bigger and better events and reaching out to more and more students. So I think having that additional pull, that additional motive of even earning more money would be a good reason for student organizations to participate. And so some of the awards that I was thinking of were Outstanding Student Organization, Outstanding New Student Organization, Outstanding Student Leader, and whatever else that I'll think about within the next year or so. A lot of other universities have these awards, and I was really surprised that nothing has been done in the past to encourage these student organizations that make our campus so great.
Thank you. This one's for Varun. If elected, how do you plan to convey openness and work with student organization leaders to ensure that you are meeting their needs?
I think over the past year, Aaron has done a great job in positioning the VPO strongly as someone who is an advocate for student organizations. And I think I want to build on that really and have the student body vice president for organizations be seen as someone who is very accessible, whether it's through COSO reps or just shooting an email to the SB VPO. And as I mentioned earlier, I've mentioned this a couple of times actually, communication is one of the biggest parts of my platform. And if communication doesn't percolate down to COSO and COSO reps, then this would be very difficult. It would be very difficult for the student body vice president for organizations to function effectively. I strongly intend to meet with all student organization leaders by the end of fall 2011. Yeah, fall 2011, and as many of those as possible during spring 2011 and summer 2011 when I will be here. I'm from Bombay, by the way, but I'll be here. And really impress upon them little things like I mentioned with the training that student activities carries out throughout the year, maintaining their org tracker details and keeping them up to date, just talking to them about who their COSO reps are, they can be, ensuring them they can be comfortable with them, ensuring these are the ways that I would ensure that student organization leaders' needs are communicated to the SB VPO, as well as ensuring that we go about fixing the things that need to be fixed in the right way.
Thank you.